Hello, everybody. Welcome to the recap of Week 2 in fantasy football. NFL 2 weeks are in the books already. Season is starting to fly by already. It's crazy. 2 weeks in, getting close to Week 3, and we're gonna quickly look over this. I keep saying I want to make it quick. It still ended up being like 20 some minutes last week, so we're gonna try see if we can do it even quicker. But anyway. Look through the scoreboard here from week 2, the final results. Pat ended up beating me 128 to 103 there. And yes, I changed my name, the team name, to the Pollard Express since I have Troy Pollard on my team. So, then Caitlin ended up beating Maria 137-109. Dylan beat Bud Fox 121 to 101. The other Matthew beat my dad 129 to 76. And the bottom half here, Bill ended up beating Brandon 128-114, which puts Bill 2-0 again. He's good at this somehow. And then Colby ended up beating Mason 127 to 76. And one thing I wanted to point out this week. Well, let me go through this first. Zach Flippin ended up beating Andrew 123 to 95, and then Matt Fisher ended up beating Gary 108 to 65. So that's the scoreboard for week 2. One thing I wanted to point out, which I thought was kind of funny, was now you know my channel has, I stream a lot of iRacing and stuff, and we do the special rate, the endurance races and stuff. So who was just on the last endurance team? 4 of the people that were on the last endurance team that we had were me, Mason, Pat, and Colby, and Andrew. So keep them 5 in mind even. But the 4 that I mentioned first, me, Colby, Pat, and Mason. Okay, Colby ended up facing Mason. I went up against Pat. So literally the entire endurance team went up against head-to-head against each other. And even if you look at Andrew, went up against Zach Flippin, which is Mason's brother. So almost basically kind of like a part of a teammate as well. Just hasn't been on in a while. I haven't talked to him in a while, but being Mason's brother, Mason was on our team. So it was literally all within the iRacing family, all went head to head at the same time this week. So I just thought that was kind of funny how we noticed that. So I think Colby is actually the one I don't face this year, because there's 16 teams and 14 weeks. You don't play yourself, and then there's one other team you don't play. I think Colby was the one I don't play, oddly enough, which is good because he's been killing it with points. So I'm kind of glad it ended up working out that way. So that's the scoreboard. Now let's look at the box scores for each. As we take a look at breakdown, that's Pat's win over me right there. Now Daniel Jones ended up with 30 points. Now he had like 5 points for the whole first half, if that. Might not even been that. Tony Pollard, though, got 19.9. He was also over the projected. So the top 2 on there look pretty good for me. Of course. On the other side of the bracket, or the other side there is, Kirk Cousins also got almost 30 points. So, that didn't help. That was a Thursday night game. So those points were there well before any of mine. So, well, not any of mine, A.J. Brown. But A.J. Brown only got 6.9 on Thursday night for me. So that wasn't too good. Look at all those projecteds above, or for double digits, and I only ended up with 2 of them above double digits. And the defense actually scored more than the projected. So, but yeah, he killed me on the. I mean, just overall in general, right here, all these double digits right here killed all these at single digits. That's what the difference was, really. Because my quarterback actually won the matchup. I mean, this killed me too. The running back even beat this running back, so, and then just, but this one beat that one. So there was close to even in the first 3. Then here it just broke away with these, for sure. And we both got the same amount on the kicker. So that was all that. It's not really much else I could have done on the bench. Tannehill scored a good solid 21 points, well over projected, but it was still under Daniel Jones anyway, so it's not much I could have done there. And then this I could have done a little better. Kittle only scored 6 last week, and I could have had Laporta in for 11.3, but it still wouldn't have won me. That's a 25-point difference, so that wouldn't have changed. So moving on to the next one here. Well, that put us both 1-1 now, because he lost the first week, won that one. I won the first week and lost that one. So we're going to move on to here. Poor Maria has scored over 100 points both weeks, but still ended up losing in both of them. She's the first one we're looking at, that's 0-2. Josh Allen scored very close to his projected. And then she's Keenan Allen 31, DeAndre Swift 27, and another 21. This is a lot of 20s and 30s in here. 5 of them. All the double digits were that. Otherwise, it's been horrible. -2 for the Texans defense. Only 4 for the kicker. Only 4 for Higbee. Only 8 for him. So, but the double digit ones were more than in the 20s. So that's where the difference was there. Ayuk scored a lot in week 1. Only scored 7.3 here. T. Higgins, a big day. Justin Fields, not so much. So that was the difference there. Anything on the bench, she had Jared Goff, who could have scored, who had 8 points more. Still wouldn't have done anything, but she could have had Jared Goff, and Goff had a good day. So that's what the benches looked like. Steelers defense scored 23. Jesus. I wanted the Steelers defense so bad. I was going to pick them that round, and I was 5 picks away? Not even. I think it was 3 or 4 picks away from getting them, and then she took them. So that sucked. So moving on to the next one. Dylan is now 2-0. I think he's got the second most points scored. Bill is the first, by the way. My uncle's not doing horrible for the first time. He's got Mahomes. He did pretty much what he was supposed to do. CeeDee Lamb did. He scored 101 points. Just almost projected. Almost got the projected amount. Wait. How does that make sense? This says 99.7, but up here it says 101.7. That's really strange. But, yeah. He had 51 points on the bench. So, yeah, Jalen Hurts. So, the quarterbacks in this matchup were pretty close and pretty accurate to projected. This was in a lot of double-digit scores as well. So, that's the breakdown of that matchup. Moving on to this one. I tried telling my dad to do something, but I did notice it looked like, I don't know, he had Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones. I don't know if they just didn't score. I don't think Eckler played. I don't know about Aaron Jones, though. So he had good scores, even with 2 zeros right there. Just unfortunately, he had a ton of good ones as well. So Joe Burrow might actually be hurt now too. I'm not sure. He's, I think, questionable at the moment. But honestly, this bench ain't any better. So it's not like he could have done any. That still wouldn't have won. So that was a pretty quick match to look at because there's not much to look at on that one. We look on this one. Bill is got the most points scored total, and with a 128 in this week. Look at this. Even at -1 for Jets defense, and still ended up scoring 128. Like a 23.1, a 24.9, a 28.9, a 22.2, and only a .2 here. So, I mean, that's crazy. How he still ended up scoring all those points. So, Brandon ended up picking up Baker Mayfield during the week leading up to this because he lost, obviously lost Aaron Rodgers. He had Aaron Rodgers out for the season after 4 plays played on the Jets. So he ended up picking up Baker Mayfield, scored him 18.3 points, but that's, not bad. So he just came up just short of beating Bill. So he's 0-2 for the season. And move on to Mason and Colby. As the breakdown is right there. And I'll just go through these quick. Packers defense even got 0 for Mason. Deebo Samuel got the most points on the whole team. So I almost picked up Zay Flowers from the draft, but I didn't. I don't know if good enough. Look at all this bench. George Pickens, 22.7, 12.4, 13.5. A lot left on the bench. I still don't think he would have won, but Jesus, Colby's got, oh my God, he's got 2 IR. He filled up both his IR spots. But anyway, we'll move on to the next one. Andrew and Zach. So look there. Any notables? Broncos defense at 0 on Andrew's team. Andrew also lost Nick Chubb for the season during that game. So Nick Chubb is no more. That was a gruesome looking injury. That slow-mo on Twitter looked absolutely painful. Oh my God. It's cringing. Very, very much cringing. So if you don't mind that stuff, check it out. If you do, I would not look at it. So, not much to talk about in this matchup. Zach 123 scored. He's got Anthony Richardson in. Andrew had Deshaun Watson in. So, that's what the benches look like. Even a lot of double. Oh no. Yeah, look at all the double digit on the bench. Deontay Foreman must not have played. That guy, man, he deserves more time. He played really good for the Titans a couple years ago when Henry was hurt. And I really liked him. Kind of wish we didn't get rid of him, but I'm guessing he, because he was so decent at filling the role, he got a lot of interest. But now nobody seems to be using him like They should. But look at all these double digits, even on the, like, oh my God. Nico Collins, 27.6. His bench almost scored the same amount as his damn team. Oh my God. 10 over the projected. And about 15 under. So, last one to look at here. Gary had all of his players in play and still only got 65. So, that was a rough week for him there. I mean, there was only a couple double digits scored. And over here we had 3 with 20 on Matt Fisher's side. And after losing to me last week, he ended up getting the win this week. He's 1-1. Gary falls to 0-2. The benches look like this. Matter of fact, I think a couple of these he could get put on the IR and pick up somebody. I think 2 of these are actually IR capable to move to. So the Giants defense ended up at -2. Luckily, he didn't have them in. But look at this bench, even scored a decent amount. So pretty scoring breakdowns. Oh, I was wondering how that would look, but. And now we look. Look at the standings. I thought I had the standings open already, but here is the standings for the year so far, and 5 teams remain undefeated. Bill, Dylan, Colby, Matt, and Zach Flippin all undefeated. And then we have 6 teams at 1-1. That is Pat, Caitlin, my dad, me, and Matt Fisher and Andrew all at 1-1. And then the 0-2 teams is 5 more of them. That is Maria, Bud Fox, Brandon, Gary, and Mason all at 0-2. We'll see what week 3 brings. And hopefully we can pull a 2-1 out of that and win this next week. So I don't have to fall below 500. So we'll see what happens. See you next week.